This is Python Poker, and today we're going to do another play and explain the thought process on this 10-0 Bankroll challenge. So hopefully the goal, of course, is continue to improve every single day, starting from the first vlog until this one. Hopefully, if we rewatch those videos, we'll see some improvement in the thought process and not making the same leaks. So obviously here we just started this table and we already are seeing some interesting action. So we got I'm already limped in here, so I'm going to fold, but my immediate left did a little 3x small stack, and then we got two all-ins. We'll see what their ranges are. Pocket threes and pocket eights, folks, that's what they want to go all in with, and that is showing how loose those players are. But we're not going to go down to that level. We're going to continue to play solid ranges and get our all-ins in whenever we think we have the advantage based off the actions, their timings, what ranges go all in. We're not going to play to their level, but we're just going to observe and note those opportunities where they come and continue to play. So this individual is doing a little 3x open. This is the ante game, which incentivizes the ranges to be a little wider. Since I'm already in the big blind, well, I was thinking about calling here, but since now this individual opened up the action, which caused his direct left to increase the stakes. We're going to just get rid of this one. I would have probably called a 3x opening given the ante game, just so we can use this king 2 suited as an opportunity to kind of like to flop a set, where if we hit trips with trip 2s, or we have a flopped straight draw, we can continue that with the king for the most part, or a flopped flush draw or flopped flush as well. So that's kind of how I'm playing these big card, low card flush combos when I'm going through pre-flop, kind of looking for one thing and one thing only. And the pocket aces took it down, but that's very scary board for pocket aces, so they got the win on that one. But we definitely don't want to see that kind of board when pocket aces are around. So we're doing a hybrid approach for the Bankroll challenge. Bankroll is above $200 now. So initially we got to $200 really quick. That was probably a sun run early in the vlogs. We saw that. Then of course we saw some more leaks develop and more opportunities to grow. So when I saw my Bankroll dipping, playing these 10-0 streets every single day, I decided to take a step back in the stakes to do some 2-0 sessions, since on this app, Club WPT Gold, they introduced 2-0 as we were doing our initial vlogs. So we wanted to switch over just so we can define our leaks, play in a more controlled environment. By controlled environment, I mean, weaker pool, so I can really see what leaks I'm having, and also playing pots smaller so I don't lose the bankroll too much. And but I did that for about 12,000 hands. We're going to raise this one up here. And at 2-0, I was playing 4 table of 2-0, and also playing these daily play and explain challenges for the most part as well. I'm doing a hybrid approach, which I'm kind of still doing now. So that's what we're doing, a 10-0 little play and explain now. Speaking of which, we opened this one here. We have an overpair to the board. So I'm going to do half pot here. On these paired boards, flops, I'm always going to do half pot. Even if I have aces or ace king, I'm going to do half pot. Even some type of backdoor draws. So we do end up hitting a set on the turn. Well, full house on the turn. So at this point, I'm way ahead. I'm going to let my opponent catch up, and I'm going to check. That's kind of the thought process on this one. Also, when you check to give up, it gives the person an opportunity to bet, to take away the pot. I don't want to scare them off my equity too much. So I want to get some calls here. I don't want to go all in. I think it'll scare them. So I want to get some. When they folded, I guess they didn't have anything anyway. So if I would have went all in there, of course the fold would still happen. But given a raise on the end, it just gives me an opportunity to get some more value. In the past, I'm going to just raise this one small. I probably should have a bigger opening given the ante game. I'm used to playing the 2-L where there's no ante game, so I'm just a 2x open from all positions. But given that last hand, I wanted to raise, and I probably raised a little bit too much. I wanted to get some value with my nutted hands. But of course, they probably didn't have anything at that point, so they can't call in that situation. Now, here in this situation, I'm playing multi-way. On multi-way boards, I'm just simplifying my strategy just to bet my equity or play my equity here, multi-way. So given multi-way, I don't have any backdoor draw. I don't have any draws here that I can continue with. Ace high is okay. But let's say I'm going to fold this one. So let's say I even hit my ace. What if it was an ace of clubs, right? If I wouldn't want to call another street at the end. Or I could, a straight could have continued as well. So that's why I'm going to just fold that one. I'm going to look at this person's VPIP. So this person's ranges are really, really condensed, 22 and 8. So I'm going to fold the ace jack offsuit. If their range, of course, there's an ace jack on the flop, but it is what it is. I'm going to stick with my pre-flop decision here, looking at that range to make an informed decision, because that range that individual had under the gun with those stats, kind of ace queen is available, ace king is available. All the suited hands could be played as well for giving them some more opportunities to hit their draws. So that's why I folded that one, especially with more hands to act in the future. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to see what the showdown is and see what they have here. So this person is betting a straight or a flush, and they take it down. But that's what I'm going to be doing more often. I'm going to look at the stats on the opponents, and we're going to raise this one, ace queen, and see how we go. So this person has a snap call on my left. I'm going to look at their stats here. About 1,000 hands, a little bit wide of a VPIP, and they do have some aggression pre-flop with their PFR, but this hand they're calling here. So we'll see what we do all around the table. But definitely going to be using these built-in stacks here. I'm going to look at this person's stats and see how they raise 16%. Here, I'm going to call because I'm probably going to call to the left, making the pot a little bit bigger. Here I have a backdoor flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. So I'm going to just check down and see what my opponents do. Probably going to do a 1/3 bet, which I don't think I can continue for that size, and we're going to fold. Nothing we can do there. Find a better opportunity. Maybe have a better opportunity to have a better flop for this combo of hands. The reason why I called that hand, I may or may not would have called that hand like in a 2-L or a regular non-ante game. But given the fact that it's an ante game where there's already a larger incentive to call pre-flop, and my opponent to my left was short stack, so most likely they might call more often than a regular or a deep stack player. That gives the incentive for me to call the ace queen offsuit a little bit higher. Of course, we're still going to be down to ace king. If an ace hits the flop, we're still not going to be sure if our ace high or a pair of aces would be good. But the reason why I did call that hand is just because it gives the incentive to the player behind me to call and make the pot bigger, and who knows, we might have a flop a decent draw, or flop a good hand there. So that was our thought process there. But even folding, I could consider folding that ace queen offsuit as well. So that's kind of the hand where there's another factor in play with the short stack behind me, which gives me another incentive to call that one. Now the short stack did double their stack there with their hands. So we're going to keep that in mind. That there's even a really short stack in the small blind there. So we're going to fold this one. But hopefully we'll play a heads up pot against those two individuals to our left. Play a nice little pot. Looking at the table of the stack sizes, we have some decent stacks here. Person to my right, 419 BBs, nice solid stack. To my left, it looks like they're under the gun. They're the big blind, 507 BBs, so it's a nice deep stack game. So against those individuals, I'm going to play pure exploits and GTO style based off combo and technical poker. Given the short stacks, I might open up my exploits a little bit more, maybe bluffing a little bit more, or betting more when my hand wants value. Usually shorter stacks are going to overcall on average, so I might want to get some more thick value against those individuals. And but even with deep stack players, I've noticed too that they're a little bit wider on their calls, given like a 100 BB stack. So we can also get some more, profit from those individuals as well, because sometimes they overplay their equity. Everyone here basically is overplaying their equity, me included. That's one of my leaks. One of the questions I was asking myself over the last couple sessions is, am I overplaying my equity as a default question? And that kind of helps me stop to think, scan my mental model, my database, my memories, there's another word for them, just to make sure I haven't came to that leak before, or that structure of the hand or the node, and make sure I don't bleed my hard-earned BBs that we earned over our patience and our taking the time to think through these actions. So there's that. So we're gonna you might hear me say, am I overplaying my equity here? As a general first question, and that kind of helps me narrow my thoughts after that question, moving forward to ask them other questions as we're playing through the hand. So, all right, our immediate short stack to our left has left, but we still have a shorter stack to our left, so that's great. I'd like to have the shorter stack to my right, so I can watch their actions and see how they like to play their hand, to give me more incentive to raise them, call, or other exploits. But I also love having the deep stack to my right as well, because they're going to tell me with their sizes how strong their hands are, and I can look and see with their actions and their timings if I want to continue. So we like to have that deep stack player to my right. And as we can just see here, a player did join the table with 200 BBs, about $20 or 20 chips in this type of site. So I can't assume that these stacks of 200 BBs are regulars or stronger players, because you can start deep stack at this game with the 200 BB stacks. I'm always going to start around 100 BBs just as a default, because I need to learn and practice 100 BB stacks as well, just so I can go all in, use my equity, fold equity, making large bets as needed, some raises to help with that fold equity. 100 BB stack is great. The minimum you can need for that. Anything small like this person in the cutoff right now, with the 32 BB stack, that's not going to give any fold equity. We could just play our full ranges and our full equity against that person and have a more profitable decision point and make more money against that individual. But given 100 BB stack, it's good enough for fold equity. But going back to the people joining the table with the 200 BB stacks, we're going to fold this one. That is, we can't assume that they're regulars or they're strong players just because the fact that this app or this game gives them the opportunity to come in a little deep stack, which is great for us. So this is mimicking more of a 20 NL or 10 to 20 NL type of environment, given this deep stack play. So we're just going to still continue to be condensed. We're going to be hyper focused. We're going to make the best decision so we can take little chunks out of those stacks and improve ourselves, and also not give away our hard-earned BBs from our 2NL 4 tabling to our 1NL, this one table here, going through it in a play and explain session. So we'll see if we can hand guess. So it's a fun thing to do while we're waiting, so we can predict based off the actions. We can the people playing together on certain combos of hands. So button 3x. Nothing. You can't really say much about this. You're gonna have a wide range from the button, especially if everyone folds to you. We'll see if the blinds decide to call or raise. Typically, you can call from the big blind. I call from the big blind. I need to call more from the big blind because I'm closing the action, so it gives me a better incentive to call from the big blind, speaking of the big blind here. And with the small blind, I want to develop a strategy of 3-bet or 4-bet or fold from the big blind. So now we're going to play us a game. So now T.O. Sam here, I probably shouldn't... Uncle Sam here. Oh, Uncle Sam, that's pretty funny. I'm going to call here, given I'm probably going to be closing the action. And we do flop a pair with a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. We're going to check this one. Most likely the person is going to bet 17 big blinds to put the small stack all in. And nope, they decided not to go with that route. I'm going to look at their 47 and 14. I'm going to fold this one. So 47 and 14. 47 VPIP means they're going to call a lot more if they're given the opportunity. If you raise into them, they're going to call a lot more, so their VPIP is a little higher. But their fold. The reason why I'm going to fold that one is because their pre-flop raise is 14%. So it's, not the highest, not the smallest, but given it's multi-way, and typically players, I've noticed that when they bet large sizes, they want to they have a hand for one, and they want to get value. So most likely our hand could hit, but we have to have lots of hopes and dreams for our Jack 10 hand to get runner to and possibly improve. But let's say even if we improve to a flush on a runner backdoor flush, we could be losing to the nut flush there. So when I'm playing my equity, I want to, if I'm going to draw to a hand, especially if I'm playing to a deep stack, and if I'm going to devote half of my stack for a hand, I need to draw to the nuts there. I'm not going to draw to losing a hand. So I'm going to call that hand pre-flop. Jack 10 of spades there. I'm going to call that for sure, especially playing against the small stack in the pot. I don't want to necessarily raise that hand because I can open up the opportunity to get a raise over the top, and I'll just lose all of my equity pre-flop against that individual. So that's why we decided to call that, especially playing against the small stack player in that situation. But we couldn't do anything more than call that hand pre-flop, and given the size of the continuation flop bet, we have to get rid of that one, unfortunately. We're not going to play hope poker. We're going to stick to fundamentals and get our equity in when it's advantageous for us. And that's all we can do. Now we're just going to move on and continue the next thoughts through the next hand and see what we can do. All right, so those were nice. T.O. Sam there, Uncle Sam there, nice. You had a nice, fortunately, ran into the straight there, but did have a solid pre-flop hand there. And let's see if we can have a little fun here and guess the hand. So ranges are very wide up to this point. We're the small blind player, which should 3-bet or fold. We got an all-in here from this individual. We can check their stats, 33-19. Going all in. Ace, king, pocket 10s or higher maybe. And okay, or king 5 offsuit. So interesting. It was cool that they did get to have the opportunity to show down the queen's hand before that. So maybe they're thinking, oh, I just showed down, I had a solid hand. Maybe if I go all in again, kind of this meta game, this game theory type play, this strategy game. Hey, I just did this, but maybe I have a strong hand. But as you can see with the short stack, they're not going to have a strong fold equity versus the 300 BB stack they're up against. So they're just going to call them down. And as you see, they called them down with pocket 9s. Which is a standard hand to call down with. I would definitely call down that with pocket 9s as well. Pocket 9s probably was the minimum threshold that I would do to call an all-in against that individual, the short stack player. So great call. But as you can see, my prediction was a little off. But I would go all in that situation with 10s or higher, or ace king in that situation if I was playing a short stack approach. And we would hopefully get a call like we saw there for the pocket 9s. Maybe we'll have some advantage against that player if they want to call 50 big blinds with pocket 9s, It's actually a good hand, but I won't have that king 5 offsuit. I'll have a stronger range, so we'll be able to get some opportunities to hit our hands and making some profits there. But we can see now, and also this short stack player might be a little tilted. They went all in with king 5 offsuit. But it's going to tilt them. You would think that if you go all in with a king 5 offsuit hand, you might change your approach and say, okay, that's not going to work. Let me play more of a conservative range, condense my opponents. But we're going to call here and hope to set mine, and which we do. And we'll check to the aggressor. But most likely, that player will continue to play loose and be tilted. And that's what will happen here, folks. All right, so we are going to raise this one up. Since there's a draw out there, and we're going to go all in over the top. So all we can do is a couple draws, and there's a flush draw. So we're just going to get our equity in now. And hopefully we get a caller. Maybe they'll go over the top. Hopefully, maybe they go over the top. I'm just going to go all in at this point, but they folded. All right, so we took that one down. I want to, if I have a set there, I want to just put the money in when I have value and I have a strong hand. Also, given the fact that pocket 2s are the lowest possible set that we can get, we just want to put in the money at that point just to avoid, I could easily have pocket 5s to my left or any pocket pair higher, and they would overset me there. It's a possibility. So I want to raise that to avoid those, to follow those pocket pairs to can outdraw me. Get set over set, don't want that. And also with the flush draw available on the flop, it was a two-tone board with hearts, and also there was a wheel straight possibility out there. I want to put my raise in to charge those hands or those combos to hit their hand, and while I have the equity advantage, while I have the percentages in my favor. So, because sometimes people do call a little light there, even with back doors, they'll possibly call. And versus a flush, I have 60% equity, about 60% equity, maybe it's 64%. Just ballpark numbers, I'm 60% favorite against a flush draw. So I want to put in my equity when I have the advantage and let the opponents overcall with their poor equity decisions. So I have to raise that. And maybe in the path I might slow play that. I'll just call, but eventually they'll get there. they've gotten there a lot more than you think they'll get. Flushes will get there 33% of the time on average. So 1 in 3 times their flush will hit. So while I have the advantage, I just want to put my money in and let them make the mistakes and not have me make the mistakes there. So ace queen offsuit. It's a good hand late in position. Not a good hand against an under the gun raise. 54 and 17, and especially now since we have a raise over the top, 47 and 14. So they raise 14% of the time for their PFR, which is going to condense them, and that is going to be condensed even more since they saw an initial raise from under the gun, which should have a solid range, and they're just going to say, I don't really care what you did there, and I'm going to raise over the top. So we'll see how this one plays out. We're going to check to the aggressor, pre-flop aggressor. So they're probably going to bet at least, yeah, that's a good, decent bet, at least half. And see how I have the ace queen and ace come. I could still be losing to 2 pairs and ace queen, ace king as well. So that's why in that situation, folding ace queen, given the preflop action, is a no-brainer for me. Given those ranges and how those ranges are hyper condensed, given the action, raise, re-raise over the top. So they have a subset of their range, and also given their PFRs and their VPIPs, that those ranges are even condensed even further. So if that ace even hit on the turn there and I called that, so under the gun with the last hand, ace queen, under the gun has all the ace kings, and they have ace queen as well, but they could have ace queen, with a heart. They could have ace queen suited, ace king is available as well. So let's say I just call them down with my stack and I just have ace queen, and I've done this before where ace king is milking me all the way down, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm hyper focused on range analysis from every single step of the game, from the initial under the gun 5x raise, right? 5x raise is definitely more stronger hands, and people's bet sizes usually tell what their ranges are, how strong their hands are. So they already opened up with a 5x raise, and then the player to the left, right, saw that and said, oh wow, okay, you think you have a strong hand, I'm going to raise you over the top. A good raise, 4x over the top, plus the I think it was 22, but 4x plus 2 BBBs for giving the players behind them worse odds to just cold call them. Yeah, at that point you shouldn't cold call. I would go all in. With ace king suited, I would go all in if I wanted to, but ace queen, I gotta fold that one, especially given that action. So I'm definitely using the stats available, and I hope you do too as well before you make your decision. It's gonna the stats that we see when we look at the profiles are their historical stats. So if it's 20,000 hands, that's of course their summary stats over 20,000 hands. But those stacks are lagging indicators, which means that let's say, for example, this person that did the re-raise, 47 and 14, 35, 3,600 hands or so. So their VPIP on average on all their hands is 47%, but maybe when they first started their sample, they were at 55%, and they're slowly going down there. So it's a lagging indicator. So you need to have lots more hands on averages to put a dent in those VPIPs or those PFRs to increase those PFRs. So those are lagging indicators, but they're great indicators for the average of their play. And this person here, like we were saying, 47 and 14, like that's just a standard opening, like if they just like a 2x opening from the top. But given the fact that they already saw 5x raise, they need to condense their range. So then those ranges from 47, we can maybe say we can break it down to now the range is going to be condensed to 23% to 7%. And given the size, which is a great opening size of 4x, we can kind of put them closer to that 7% of hands. They're going to be betting their strongest 7% and their widest 23% for their VPIP ranges there. So, and also given the fact too that the pre-flop under the gun player, going back to that hand with the ace queen, they already started with the 5x, so now they're condensed even more to call. So their ranges were 54 and 17. So they would be probably close to similar ranges by the time they condensed some merged ranges there. But given the under the gun might have the range advantage there, since they were the first to act in under the gun, you definitely need to have a strong range there. So queen jack offsuit. Given the ante game, we're going to call this one. So we do hit middle pair again with a backdoor straight draw. We're just going to check our equity. Hopefully get to see a cheap card, which we do. At this point, everyone checks their hands. Usually by now, players would bet strong hands. So most likely everyone's probably on a draw, or I'm going to check down and see what they continue to do. I have a jack, so I have a backdoor straight draw. 10 comes on the river, I'm solid. Hopefully it's not a 10 that's a heart or a spade, but 10 of diamonds, 10 of clubs would be great. At this point, I have a solid hand, so given the action, I think I can call this bet. I think ace would have bet. King might be betting now. I think I have to call this one, but I think I'm probably going to be losing to a king for the most part. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to call 7 BB bet. I will raise over the top if this person does raise. Even though it might be an exploit raise, I'm still going to fold, given it's multi-way. But I'm probably going to be losing to a king here. That's what I predict. Or an ace. There you go. That makes sense. Kind of leaning towards them having a king there for that hand, but with a pair of queens there, I think I can call that size bet. But even if I folded, at that point, let's see what they got going here. 30, 2, and 9. We're just gonna call this one. We're gonna look to set mine. But what I mean by set mining with this type of hands, like I said earlier, is hope for a pair, hope for a, I may just say flush mine or straight mine, but we're definitely going to call here with an ace and a backdoor hard draw. And so our ace is not the best right now. We're doing okay against some smaller aces, but we're not looking good. But we do like our additional equity here for that 8 of hearts there. Hopefully they don't do a too big bet, which I was predicting there. So I don't have the direct odds to call this. 1, my heart could miss, right? And 2, I have like a 20% equity I have to fold this hand because I need, so look, there's 1 card to come. And so there's 9 available hearts as an optimal hearts left. So given that there is 1 card to come, you kind of multiply your outs by 2. So I have like an 18% equity of hitting my card. And most likely my ace is not good there. I mean, it's okay, it could be good, but I could be losing to ace jack and the other combos of ace higher than me. There's basically 50% of the ace combos. Maybe not 50%, like 40% of the ace combos at ace 7 are going to be outdrawing me. Ace 10, ace queen, ace 8, ace 9 is going to beat me. So I'm already probably not having the best ace, but I do pick up a heart draw, but I can't call that size on the turn there, them going all in, because I need 18% equity. But also that's like the optimal equity that I need. They're all the players that we could have folded hearts, right? So my best equity I can have is 18% or so, but most likely it's going to be closer to 15%. I can't set mine here with pocket 6s there against that going over the top, given the action there. So we're going to be patient and fold that one. But because they went all in, it's basically I'm not really good at doing these quick calculations, but at least greater than 33% pot odds at that point. Maybe it's even higher than that. So the pot odds don't justify the call, even though the implied odds of hitting my heart, I would win all the pot if I hit the heart, but it's too much of a gamble here for that situation for me. That's why I didn't call that hand with the extra heart there. And they did a great job going all in with that bet, just because making me force myself to continue there. So we're going to raise this one up here, ace-10 offsuit. And we got a call. We got a little raise here. I'm going to fold this. If it was ace-10 suited, I would call. But ace-10 offsuit, we're going to fold this one. Hopefully we're trying to get a cheap flop, but no, wasn't in our cards here. And we got to live and fight another day. So we're not just going to overcall just to hope that we hit a straight or an ace. If we hit an ace on the flop, right? I mean, it's like the other hand with the ace-7. We could be good. We're guessing there. Like we don't have a strong hand. So maybe even not even opening ace-10 offsuit. That might be a little too light, especially given the ante game. So I'm definitely going to open ace-10 offsuit there. In all cases, especially I'm so close to the button there. As we get closer to the button, we're definitely going to open our ranges up a little bit. But that was our process there. So this is just a little sneak peek of what I think through all the hands when I'm going through my poker sessions. We only got a few hands. This is a 30-minute play and explain, so I might even be lucky if I get 30 hands in here, at the top. But as we can see, I'm about 17,000 hands or so. So my VPIP is 21%, pre-flop raise 13%. I definitely need to get my pre-flop raise, my PFR a lot higher. I like King 8 suited here. I'm gonna open this one, but that's something I need to work on. I want to get closer to like 17 or 18% for my PFR, but for now, we'll take it one step at a time, but definitely need to improve that. This person's like, I'll call these callers. I'm definitely going to raise these people over the top if they want to get some free blinds sitting there. They'll definitely raise over the top, but they fold here. So here, I'm going to check my equity and see what sizes that my opponents play. At this point, King 8, I'm going to call this one. So we got a raise here. I don't think I can call here. I'm going to fold. So that might be a nitty fold there, but let's see what they show down with. Oh, so they flopped 2 pair there. Okay, so that raise does make a little sense there with the 2 pairs. So if I would have called that, you can't. As I can see the hand, I know that. But as I can tell by the bet sizes and the timings, they definitely felt a little strong with that bet size. That's why I'm easily gonna fold that one. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna sit out this one, and we'll call it quits on this one for today. So we didn't get too. Stand up. We didn't get too high on the action here. So we had our big stack was I think the 130 BBs or so. We were around 100 for a while, but then we got down to 82. Nothing crazy to talk about there. Maybe the King 8 suited might have been a little bit loose for 10-L versus a 2-L open, but it is what it is. That's all we can do is go through the actions and kind of evaluate if we want to continue or not based off our past heuristics. But so that kind of gives you an idea of my thought process through my hands that I play. We only played about 30 or so today, but that's what I'm doing in every single hand. Even when I'm 4-tabling on 2-L, the games are kind of wide. Lots of players playing the ring game, so even though I'm playing 4 tables, it's not like fast decisions because like lots of people are taking their time going through the actions, looking at the stats and so on. But we're just doing that every street of the time on all decisions, and we're improving the bankroll. So we are currently at $216 for our bankroll, starting at $50, and so we're making some great choices and some overall decisions, and hopefully to continue that bankroll to move up to 25 NL in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching. Comment below if you have any ideas for suggestions or suggestions on how I can improve or play a hand a little differently. I look forward to that. Look at some of the old videos and kind of compare what my thought process is now versus previous vlogs to see if you see any improvements or ideas for discussion. But that's it. We'll stop the video here, And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.